Hello, and welcome to the University of Kentucky's Interfraternity Council's IFC 100 presentation. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this presentation and learn more about our community. We created this presentation to provide general information about the IFC community, our community, and the greater fraternity and sorority community. It's our hope that you will have a better understanding of who we are and what we do. Let's talk about community. But before we get started, we would like for you to pull out your phones to scan a couple of QR codes. The code on the left will take you to the UK IFC Instagram. And the code on the right will take you to the UK Fraternity and Sorority Life Instagram. Please follow both of these pages and turn post notifications on to stay updated on when IFC recruitment events are, as well as other updates on UK Greek life. Something as simple as following different Instagram accounts within the community goes a long way. So we've used the word community a lot at the start of this presentation, and we want to ask you a simple question. What is a community? So we have two definitions for this word. The first is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Through the next few slides, we're going to briefly review the overall FSL community, the fraternity community, and the IFC community here at UK. The second definition is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. I think this definition is important as well as it shares how common goals can bring people together as a community. So to us, a community is more than a common place. It is a sense of shared connection. We like to utilize a definition for community that more accurately conveys the sense of care, belonging, and dynamics present within a community. We choose to focus on a sense of community rather than just the community itself. So, to give you an idea, the definition that we utilize is a sense of community is a feeling that members have of belonging, a feeling that members matter to one another and to the group, and a shared faith that members' needs will be met through their commitment to be together. An easy way to set yourself up for success as a college student is to become involved and be part of a community you most feel comfortable in. That sense of belonging is important for a student's overall well-being. We are definitely a little biased, but what better way to get involved and develop a sense of community than by joining a fraternity? To better understand what a sense of community is, we focus on the four elements of community, which are membership, influence, member needs, and emotional connection. Membership is a key element of a sense of community as the feeling of belonging among group members. Community membership allows people to feel that they have a right to belong. Influence means that members have a sense of mattering within the group, and it works in two directions. First, individuals can influence the group. Second, the group can influence the individuals, creating a sense of cohesion. Maintaining a positive sense of community requires reinforcement of the members, which is how the group can meet the needs of each individual. It's extremely important to know that every single person that's part of a community has different needs. And finally, a shared emotional connection. Members of strong communities have a sense of emotional connection to one another and the group. The emotional connection is built upon a shared history that all members connect to, even if they did not participate in it. Events frequently serve as the catalysts for building connection as they allow for members to interact. Honestly, there's so much more information that we could probably provide you about what a community is, a sense of community, and the four elements, but for now we're going to keep it about as simple as possible. So now let's talk about our community as a whole. When we come to UK, we are all wildcats to begin with. You then make the decision to potentially join the fraternity and sorority community. Our community is split up into 4 councils. These 4 councils oversee nearly 50 organizations. In these 50 organizations, we have 6,000 undergraduate members. And then finally, we hope that you would join our community. You have to think about this, that you can be part of a community that grows together and supports each other, because at the end of the day, we're all wildcats. The fraternity and sorority community at UK is massive, which can be a bit daunting. but it does have an organization for everyone. Let's talk a little bit more about those councils, right? So like we said earlier, the FSL community is split into 4 governing and coordinating councils. The first is obviously the Interfraternity Council. We have the NPHC, or National Panhellenic Council. We have the Panhellenic Council. And we have the United Greek Council. Each council elects an executive board made up of student members that guide, serve, and advocate for the needs of not only their community, but our entire fraternity and sorority community. So the Pan-Hellenic Council is the governing body for the National Pan-Hellenic Conference sororities here at UK. NPC is the umbrella organization for 26 women's groups. Of those 26, we have 14 here at UK, along with 1 associate member. Our United Greek Council currently does not have any fraternities, but the council is open for growth. Men or women interested in starting an interest group for a special interest or cultural-based fraternity and sorority can visit the UGC website or contact our office to find out more information on how to get started. So let's talk about fraternities here at UK. So we have 2 councils that house fraternities. Although you may be interested in joining an organization that is an IFC fraternity, we want to make sure that you have as much information as possible to keep your options open, but to also share with you the bigger picture of what makes up the FSL community. The fraternity community at UK is open to all men that meet the council and individual chapters requirements and contains organizations from 2 of our 4 councils, IFC and NPHC. IFC contains about 1,600 men and 20 chapters, while NPHC contains around 35 men and 4 chapters. The National Panhellenic Council, also known as NPHC, consists of 9 historically black fraternities and sororities. NPHC was founded on May 10, 1930, on the campus of Howard University, which is in Washington, D.C. Howard University is a prominent HBCU, or historically black college and universities, with 5 of the 9 NPHC organizations being founded there. NPHC incorporated in 1937 under the laws of the state of Illinois. You will often see these organizations' names written out with Fraternity or Sorority Incorporated after the name of their organization. Let us first say all national and international organizations are incorporated, but NPHC orgs were founded at a time when black men and women could not incorporate or own their own business, so their dates of incorporation are later than their founding dates. This makes this a distinct point of pride within their history. So NPHC at UK is a coordinating body for 7 of the 9 historically African American fraternities and sororities here at UK. In the fall semester, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated will be reactivating, increasing our total to 8 active organizations. A major point of pride for the NPHC is their community development and support. NPHC organizes and coordinates educational and cultural programs as well as community service projects for their member orgs as well as the greater community. Their signature event, which is the annual Homecoming Step Show, sells out regularly and brings together nearly 1,500 attendees. So we currently have chartered chapters of all 9 organizations and currently have 7 active chapters, with 4 of them being fraternities. Overall, the 7 active organizations have over 100 members, making us the largest NPHC community in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Of the current 7 active chapters, we currently host 4 historically black fraternities. They are Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Now, if you're interested in joining one of the NPHC organizations at UK, here's the process. Membership intake typically kicks off with an informational meeting hosted by the chapter. This is where you learn about the general membership expectations. We then have a candidate application and selection. Depending on the organization, candidates will go through an interview process and have their application reviewed. Candidates then go through the organization's new member education program. Once education is complete, the candidates will then initiate or cross into the organization. This is a little bit of a different word. So the words we use are important. Initiate or initiation may be the same action as crossing, but the terminology is different based on the organizations. So using the appropriate terminology is a key component of respect that we have within our community. And finally, if applicable, new members are presented to the community. And this is the entire member intake process. To be eligible to participate in membership intake, potential candidates must attend NPHC 101, which is hosted every semester and provides information about each organization, expectations, and important policies. There are several ways to find out about the National Panhellenic Council. Social media is going to be your best friend for this. To learn more about the FSL community as a whole, feel free to check out the FSL guide by scanning the QR code. You can also find the link for this on the IFC website. So now that we've discussed our overall community and the fraternity community, let's talk about specifics for the Interfraternity Council. So the IFC is the umbrella organization for 20 IFC fraternities, and there are over 1,600 members. As you see here on the screen, this is the hierarchy within the institution. We have the University of Kentucky, Fraternity Story Life, then the Interfraternity Council. As we said earlier, we have 20 IFC fraternities that house 1,600 members. We have an executive board of 11 elected members who then lead our governing body and council community. This executive board then serves, supports, and advocates for all of the 20 organizations, the 1,600 members, and the entire fraternity and sorority community. The purpose of IFC is to unite the community in the pursuit of scholarship, service, character, and growth of the community and its members. This is done by promoting the progress of the fraternity experience. We advocate for the best interest of our member fraternities, aid in the development of their members, and improve the community through a collective effort. A little bit of a history lesson. The 2020 IFC Executive Board began focusing on what a long-term strategic plan would look like for the IFC community. As we were working on this plan, we ultimately developed the concept of the IFC pillars. There are 5 pillars which include the following focus areas: scholarship and academics, leadership and development, civic service and involvement, brotherhood and community, and finally, health and well-being. These pillars are the foundation of what we will be utilizing moving forward while we develop our strategic plan. So there are 20 organizations within the IFC community with over 1,600 members. We've said this plenty of times, right? This makes us one of the larger IFC communities in the country, and we're definitely proud of that. Here you can see a list of all of our organizations. You can also find this list on our website. Fun fact, the first IFC fraternity here at the University of Kentucky came in 1893. Over the next few years, we're planning a few expansions to grow our community and to continue to provide options for all interested students. We are excited to be welcoming 2 organizations back to campus. In fall of 2021, Zeta Beta Tau will be rejoining us. And in fall of 2022, Phi Kappa Psi will be rejoining us. As we said earlier, this fall we will have the return of Zeta Beta Tau Fraternity. This organization was nationally founded in 1898. ZBT is the world's first Jewish fraternity, and it is open to all men of good character, meaning you do not have to be Jewish to join ZBT. The Alpha Iota chapter of ZBT was previously here at UK from 1942 to 1973. Similarly, with many fraternities, there is a cost associated with it. For ZBT, there is a one-time $320 initiation fee. You only pay it once, but then the chapter will decide what local dues are once the chapter is established. If you have more questions or you want more information, please feel free to email Anthony Haddad at ahaddad@zbtnational.org. So let's chat real quick about how to join. Before you can join, you need to make sure that you're eligible. The IFC eligibility requirements are an agreed-upon set of expectations any interested student must meet before they can participate in recruitment. Students must be full-time, meaning they need to have at least 12 credit hours. They must be registered for IFC Recruitment, pay the registration fee, which is $30. This is part of the registration process. Meet all academic requirements, meaning you have to have a 2.7 minimum GPA if you're coming from high school, or a 2.5 GPA if you are a current UK student or a transferring from another college. And the final requirement is to attend one of our IFC 101 info sessions. These sessions will be held in person and cover fraternity membership and recruitment information. If for some reason you do not meet these eligibility requirements, you can visit www.kentuckyifc.com/eligibility and fill out our appeal form. To submit an appeal, you must be able to show improvement on your last 2 years of high school or college transcript, as well as submitting an explanation of why you believe you would make a good addition to the Kentucky IFC community. If there are any other special circumstances, we also request that you include that in the appeals process. All decisions regarding appeals are made by the IFC Executive Board and are final. IFC recruitment is a structured process that occurs at the start of each spring and fall semesters at UK. This is also known as primary or formal recruitment. This period is meant to connect interested students and prospective chapters. This allows them both to make quality connections to ensure the right fit. Overall, there are events and programs leading up to the formal recruitment week. These events are used to increase interest and exposure to our community. This then culminates into formal recruitment week, ending with IFC signing day, where potential new members officially accept their invitation to join by signing their chapter's bid card and completing an FSL membership card, which we cannot stress enough that needs to get done. Registering is easy. You can visit www.kentuckyifc.com/recruitment and click the register button. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen to your right and go directly to the registration site. If you end up missing out on formal recruitment, that is perfectly okay. Each council and some of their organizations also participate in informal recruitment throughout the semester. Informal recruitment is based on each individual organization and their membership needs. Each process is different, but chapters can extend bids year-round to students, so long as they meet their council's eligibility requirements. As we wrap up, we want to provide you with some last-minute tips and tricks, but mostly some last-minute and important information. Remember, this is just a baseline presentation. We didn't want to go too in-depth with everything because, honestly, we didn't want to overwhelm you, and we didn't want to make this 30 minutes long. Check out our website. It has a ton of information on the IFC community as a whole, where you can learn more about each chapter. All you have to do is go to kentuckyifc.com and just navigate the website. Again, the best way to get information is to follow us on Instagram. We have so much information that we're constantly sharing on our social media, so this is kind of why we're pushing you to follow our Instagram. And finally, if you have questions, we don't want you to be afraid to ask them. We want you to be able to reach out and ask us whatever it is that you want to ask us. You can follow this QR code if you have any questions you want to ask, and we will get back to you ASAP. So we've come to the end of IFC 100, and we hope that this has provided you with some basic information about our fraternity and sorority community and how to join. Thank you again for taking time out of your day to learn more about us. Remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, and go Cats.